to
Right.
you, I listen to Dave, and I'm like, I have no business talking to you guys
No,
even.
man, no. Come on.
But I was watching some TED Talks and stuff like that about imposter syndrome, just trying to find out, like, why am I feeling this way? Stuff like that. It comes, it's kind of part of your makeup or whatever based on your experiences. So, stay with me. I'm going to wrap
Okay.
it back in, but so I'm working with Dave and everything. Everything's sounding fantastic. I can't, like, when I do the work on my own, when I produce stuff on my own, since I do everything from start to finish, I can't really hear this fantastic thing pop out all at once because I don't get to hear the finished thing. My, first go round, because I hear this ramp up to it. So it's kind of like when you boil a lobster in a pot, you kind of keep it warm and warm, so it doesn't.
It's like you don't notice.
Jettison.
You don't. Well, and I think the other thing too, like I would say with imposter syndrome, and maybe I'm wrong, but when you're working with someone else and you're having to rely on someone else's expertise or their talents, and they're relying on your talents, you start to feel that imposter syndrome. Like you're looking at them like, oh my gosh, this guy is so talented. How could I measure up to that? But the thing is, you don't really ever know. I'm horrible at it too, to be honest with you. Like when you say imposter syndrome, I've always had it. Like I've been at the show, any show we've ever done, and people go, "Oh, you're so cool," like, no, not really. Like I'm always shooting myself down.
That's part of it.
Yeah. And I'm humble that way. I'm honored when somebody comes up and says they really like our stuff, and they should. It's good stuff, But I will never take credit for that, and it's always Matt can attest for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I understand it, and I think when you're doing your own thing, like it's all on you, it's your own thing. There's no imposter. You're not really trying to be anything other than yourself, or you don't feel like you have to be anything other than yourself, and so you don't feel it.
Well, I think
It's
inherently,
exactly where I was going.
when the self-awareness, I think that it is required to be able to, have an honest conversation with yourself and say, you know what, I definitely have imposter syndrome. And then you try to drill down and peel back the layers and figure out why am I feeling this way? I think that a huge critical part of that is learning how to accept praise from your peers, from your friends, because it's really easy to just assume that they're blowing sunshine up your ass to make you feel good. And being able to, it sounds kind of like a juxtaposition, but be humble enough to accept the fact that they're being honest with you in their praise, that they are, and I think that another part of that is surrounding yourself with people that are going to tell you the truth. That are going to be honest with you and say, I like this better than this that you did, and I like, and because if it's all just praise, it kind of becomes white noise, and you either believe it and your ego gets too big for your own good, or you just assume that everybody's full of shit.
Right.